Right, so I have returned once again today to do some more JoJo Part 7 Still Ball Run. And on this stream, we shall cover Volume 8, I believe. I hate how YouTube kicks in at the wrong time. Sounds like I just said doo-doo. I don't know why. Thanks, YouTube. You mucked up my sentence. But yeah. Hello, how's it going? So yeah, we actually are covering chapters 34 to 36 today, which is volume 8. Yeah, volume 8. Where we left off last time, whew, we met a swag man. We met a swaggy man. I was like, wow. Wowee. That's some swag right there. And then, yeah, we witnessed Gaucho's death, while also actually bear witness to the character of Hot Pants. I was like, boyo, we're in for a quite the arc itself, I must say. So yeah, and I also believe they're also stuck in a loop as well. Like they kind of lost our old pals, our old husbandos, old Johnny Joestar and that Gyro Zeppeli. They're all stuck in a loop. They're poor men, the poor men. So, without further delay, that's actually what we got to last time. I believe that's all we need to actually kind of resume on. So let's begin. Let's see what happens. So, chapter 34. The True Man's World Part 2. And there he is himself. There's the man himself. There's that Gyro Zeppeli. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. Alrighty. So, yo, Hot Pants. At this point, it's useless to trace our footprints. We've been passing the same place over and over. Our prints are jumbled together now. The compass isn't doing shit either. Oh no. Every time you make a turn, we're gonna leave a mark on a tree. Where are we getting lost in this orchard? We're gonna move carefully and precisely. After we go straight through this path that's in front of the house, we'll go left at the next corner. And then we'll take the next left again. And then, finally, a right. Oh. Damn it. Johnny, we're gonna try this again. This time, we're definitely getting out of here. We need to follow the marks on the tree we've already lost. Oh, we need to follow the marks on the tree. We've already lost about 2 hours. Johnny, where the hell is the mark? Where the hell is the mark? Let's go. I've already found it. It's this tree. The mark is on this tree. But I don't understand. What's going on? I have no idea what's happening. When we made that turn, this was the only tree that I marked. This is the only tree that I made a marking on. Oh no. Hey, Johnny, what the hell are you doing? I told you to only make a mark when we make a turn. And that's what I'm telling you. I did. Besides, you saw me making the marks. What the hell? Who made these other marks then? I have no idea what's going on. What is this place? Also, this symbol, this mark. It's all my handwriting. I made all these marks. How could I have made the same mark in 4 or 5 different places? And they all point in different directions. The mystery of JoJo. The pinnacle mystery of JoJo. So, our enemy is the man in that house, correct? A stand attack. That must be what it is, am I right? We've been attacked by it for several hours now. I don't know what his motive is. Why did that guy have a shootout with Gaucho? If he is an enemy, then why the hell would he want us to get lost? Then what do you propose we do, Gyro Zeppeli? Do you want to roam around here for a bit longer? How many more rounds do you want to? How many more rounds do you want to make? There we are. Hello, how is it going, my dude? How is it going? I'm doing pretty fine. I was doing work and I thought to myself, you know what? I need that JoJo back. I need that JoJo once again. So I thought, just cover some more JoJo. It was ingrained in my soul. I was like, I have to do this now. I have to do this now. After a while, all you write in essays is just the word Gyrozeppeli constantly, to the point you have to actually realize, oh my god, I actually have to cover JoJo once again before my heart sinks. If you want to go, fine, but I'm not going to wander around anymore. That man told Gaucho, you can't leave unless you kill me. Yes? No? And she kill me, was it? What does he mean by that? Well, let's go back and have him explain. And then, if we're convinced that he's our enemy, we'll take him out. 3 against 1. That should be a good plan, yes? I thought I told you that I don't trust you. Ooh! Gaucho was killed. This is no time to be talking about fairness. We should do what we can with the minimum risk. If we're going to kill him, all 3 of us are going to do it. Gyro, this keeps up. We're going to be here when the sun sets, and we have to avoid that at all cost. I don't know where Dio is at this time, but he will be a full day ahead of us if we waste the time we have right now. Dio will get to Kansas before us. Anything but that, especially not by him. No way. I don't want him to get the next corpse part. No, it doesn't matter who gets it. We wouldn't want a terrorist to get it either, right, Gyro? It's the same for you, isn't it, Gyro? You have to overcome the situation by taking the least possible risk. Oh, okay, alrighty. Listen, once we know for sure he's an enemy, we'll ambush him. I'll take care of that. You two will talk to him. While you do that, I'll take his back and finish him off 3 against 1. Are you fine with this? You'll take his back? You can really do that, huh? He's not a sleeping cat, you know. Oh, here we go. Whoa. Ah. Just look how much swag is in Hot Pants right now. Just look at how much swag is just in that one frame. Just swag. Just swag. Just swag. Just swag. Oh, he knows what's good. He knows what's good. Cream starter. My hand will get behind him. Now go talk with him, get this over with, and let's leave. Whew, okay, alrighty. Man's being buried. Glance. Who are you? You're going to have to tell us your objectives. Why did you kill Gaucho? Oh. Would one of you kindly move to the back where the other gentleman was standing? If we are to converse, I'd like you to do it one at a time. Listen up. Whatever you're trying to pull, we don't care, alright? Just answer my goddamn question. Oh. If we're to engage in a shootout now, if of course, you would not be able to defeat me. The gentleman on the left stands a chance, so you kindly step back. The one I'll be conversing with is the man on the left. This is for your own good. Step back. Would you like me to talk a bit more? A gentleman on the left has a dark determination. He wouldn't hesitate to kill me if the situation called for it. But you are not the same way. That is your nature. So move aside. That is my reason. You are trying to figure out a countermeasure lest I attack. That is what's been ingrained into you. A level of skill. No doubt you are very talented, but mere self-defense will not be able to defeat me. Passive observers are not needed here. Ooh. Man. Ah. Ah. What? They will veer my steel balls? They won't hit my target? I'm not confident I can hit his heart. What do you want from us? Are you a terrorist? Are you linked with the government? I apologize for my delay, but allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ringo Road again. Ringo Road again. I think it's how you pronounce his name correctly. Road again. I'm a stand user. I developed my abilities 3 years ago in the desert. I call it Mandem. Please recognize it as such. Only 6 seconds. Mandem. Not a second more, not a second less. For precisely 6 seconds, I can rewind time. Rewind time. That's the word. That is my ability. While you were on your horses, all I had to do was rewind time, if only for 6 seconds. Yet you didn't realize this subtle oddity. But still, you retain the memory of having travelled the whole way. That's why instead of turning at the intended route, you turned somewhere in front of it. And since you couldn't tell the scenery apart, marking the trees would have no effect. The return distance travelled in 6 seconds. Instead, on the tree that you intended to mark, you marked the tree in the spot 6 seconds before, and took that turn. Distance travelled in 6 seconds. They come back to the same point and turn. And it's repeated. As long as I left more than 6 seconds worth of time between my rewindings of time, I could continuously keep on turning the clock backwards. Huh, okay, that's interesting. And that is why you'll never be able to escape from this orchard. What's your objective? Why would you want us to get lost? I want you to attempt to kill me. A fair duel will allow me to grow as a human being, devoid of pettiness. A murder attempt with the darkest of intentions will raise me towards sacred heights. I'm yet incomplete as a human. These are things I must overcome. Divinity is a pursuit, and that is why I have not hidden anything from you. About my ability, my objectives, I have no reason to lie. I humbly request your cooperation. What will you do? The choice is yours. This guy's pretty freaking cool. Not gonna lie. Kinda like this dude. Also, shout out to the artwork. My boy's doing it. My boy's doing it. Is this guy telling the truth? Is this a joke? He can't be sane. This is the true man's world. Do you want to condemn it? Do you want to condemn it back? Oh, do you want to condemn it as backwards? This world that we live in, it seems as if our values are leaning heavily towards one of sport indifference. Hey, I quit. Let's go, Johnny Gyro. He's obviously crazy. If we keep on going slowly, we'll definitely be able to make it out of here without making mistakes. I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. Don't indulge him any further. Oh! Oh! No! No! Oh no! Man's lost his hand! Alright, Johnny Gyro. I'll leave the rest to you two. Don't let him pick up the gun with his left hand. Do it! Oh. Don't let him get the gun! Oh. Huh. I'm not putting up this shit anymore. Don't indulge him any further. What? step. What? That was... He just... Impossible. What was that? My spray definitely got him. 6 seconds. I can rewind 6 seconds in time. I was fair and have already explained this to you in all fairness. I merely twist the knob on this wristwatch the correct amount. That is the trigger for my ability, Mandem. I will ask as many times as it takes. What do you choose? You'll not be able to escape unless you kill me. Oh! Oh! Ah! Jesus Christ, that stare. That Johnny Joestar stare. Man! Man! That Johnny Joestar stare, though. That Johnny Joestar stare. Did that happen? Did it actually happen? Did my boy just... No. No, Araki. No, don't do this to me now. Don't do this to me now. What? Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. 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 What? Well. Well. If I could say something at this point, boy, that escalated quite quickly. I must say, that kind of got 0 to 60. Kind of got 0 to 60. No way. But they're alright, aren't they? Johnny! I thought as much, because I thought to myself, Jesus freaking Christ, that death stare, though. I was like, man. I was like, what happened to my small boy? What happened to my cinnamon roll? He's grown up. My boy's grown up. He went from boy to boy. Literally in like 1 frame. In 1 frame, my boy went... Oh, got me good. Got me good. I am quite the shook. I am quite a shook man right now. Ah. Love of Christ, people just reveal to me the fact they're actually fine. Because it ain't looking good right now. This ain't looking good at all. Man lost his ear. Jara's got one in the kind of sort of, is that ribcage area maybe? Kind of sort of below it and maybe a little bit, just kind of that right there. Ribcage is right there, something's right there, it's about there. Hot Pants is out of commission for the time being. Johnny's like not looking good right now. Ain't doing so hot. As I thought, you, Jara Zeppeli, you are a mere conformist. You threw those weapons, and even when you were out of range, you threw them out of range, losing your friend. Disgusting. You'd never be able to kill me with something like that. Ugh. 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 Johnny, I still have 1 shot left in this revolver, but I am only inclined to kill those that desire to kill me, with that all-encompassing a dark intention. There is no need for me to waste my time finishing you off. Get out. I will release you from these orchards. my only objective my only objective is, in my training, to become a human worthy of being useful to this world. And to the man who valued my standability, to the man who sent me here, and I'm in debt. The corpse part that this Joe Star has in his left arm, I will take it and return it to him. I thank you. Don't. This is affecting me a lot, okay? I'm not having this right now. That guy. That bastard was this. Did he do it on purpose? Or was it a coincidence? That gun was an 1874 Colt. Its firing range was the distance that this steel ball rolled. Which is a step farther than Johnny. Johnny is still alive. His brain could still be intact. The bullet shouldn't have stopped lodged in his skull. Give me the good news there, Gyro Zeppeli. Give me the good news. I can't use my other husbando right now. Give me that good news, Gyro Zeppeli. Their stand name, Cream Starter, Hot Pants, can turn flesh into cream-like substance that can be sprayed when it's in contact with someone else's body. The other person's flesh is the one that is drained. Alrighty, so 35, The True Man's World Part 3. When Ringo Rodigan was young, Ringo's father was a farmer Ringo's father was a farmer, was drafted and sent to war, and for reasons unknown, he escaped from the front lines. Immediately after he was found, he was in prison. Eventually, he died of disease. The Rodigan family was now fatherless due to their extreme poverty and their newfound brand as traitors. Ringo's mother and his two sisters were forced to leave, and they travelled all across this country. From birth, Ringo had fragile skin, and even the slightest thing could give him cuts, causing him to bleed. None of the doctors that Ringo was taken to knew the reason for this strange condition. There were times when Ringo would scrape his elbow in bed while sleeping, and if he were to cut inside of his mouth, he would sometimes be unable to breathe. He often fell ill and was never able to go to school. And one night, when a 10-year-old Ringo woke up, he saw a large man clad in military uniform looming over him, illuminated in the dim light. The man gave off a strange scent, and almost like a vapid cow, was eating a raw potato that he had in his right hand. The man choked Ringo with his free hand and said, "Don't make a ruckus now." And Hero was disappointed that this house didn't have shit. A long-forgotten skin as beautiful as this. Whoa. Okay. This is escalated quite quickly. Jeez. So beautiful. So fucking beautiful. A million times more beautiful than I thought. Whoa. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Calm down, that's dangerous. You managed to take that from me. That's pretty amazing, but you don't get it, do you? That's something only a bad boy would do. Don't take things so lightly now. Cough, cough. Your nose is bleeding pretty bad. You alright? Is that some sort of disease? That's a lot of blood. Listen, if you shoot that thing, think about the amount of shock you're gonna get. Your nose is gonna bleed like hell. Even so, that you'll never grow up as big and strong. Oh, I actually can't speak now. Your nose is gonna bleed like hell, enough so that you'll never grow up big and strong, yeah? Plus, I'm not mad yet, but you're gonna make me mad. If you shoot, I'll be incredibly pissed off. I won't let you off that easily. Before I kill you, I'll cut your mum and sister's arm and feed them to the goddamn pigs. But as a man who used to be in the army, you're a good boy, aren't you? You don't have the guts to shoot me. Put that gun down. I'll be gentle, so put the gun down. I'll raise you like my own son, so put the gun under the bed. Cough, cough, cough. Ah, cough. Ah. Wow. Damn, this is quite intense. This is quite intense. I can see Iraqi set up the backstory in this part as well. Damn. Because you had the whole thing with Diego Brando as well. It's like the backstory is quite an elevation beyond the previous parts. The boy's nosebleed had already stopped. There was a newfound power in his eyes, and his skin became flushed. He could see the light, the path of the light that he was to take. He breathed through his nose and filled his chest, and it filled his chest. It was like he was breathing for the first time, and the air was crisp and fresh. And after that, ever since Ringo Road again, never suffered from a sudden cut or difficulty with breathing. A fair duel served to eliminate his uncertainties within. The wall that he had to surpass was that he called the true man's world. That was what he believed, and that was the only path that he could pursue. Alright. You can't be. Heading back towards the cabin, are you, son? To save Johnny Joestar? Huh? If you go, you will lose. Jaro, don't go back to the cabin. This should be something that you've realized by now. You cannot win. What are your motives for going to that cabin? You're being sentimental? And that is why you lose. That sentimentality of wanting to save your friend. That sentiment eats away at your heart and creates vulnerability. Sentimentality will be the downfall of this family, and of the art of the still walls. You should not go. Victory is irrelevant. The still walls are for the king. It is not an ability to be used for combat. Leave this altar in silence. This is an order. You are the eldest son of the Zeppeli family, and have I not told you, the criminal may be a boy, or he may even be innocent, but one must not feel sentimental about it. You must immediately remove yourself from this race. If I may, father, sentimentalism, that's not it. Plus, that bastard, he thinks I'm a conformist. Fuck that big-headed arsehole, talking big is he? I just want to understand, does Marco really have to be executed? What the hell is this identity of the corpse that Johnny wants to find? My path to understanding this is the ultimate priority, or else I'll be able to move forward nowhere, not even the path to the future. I won't even be able to pursue it. That's why I joined the still ball run race. I can see it. I'm beginning to see it, father. I'm getting the sensation of victory. Ora! Oh! Okay, alright. This is getting freaking amazing, actually. Holy crap, this is actually getting impeccable. He's definitely still alive, Johnny. That map, Kansas City. He knows when the next corpse part is now. But Ringo Road again, starting now. Neither of us can back down. In a word, this is like chess. The first one to make a bad move will lose, no matter what we both think, no matter how hard we fight against it. Ura! Oh. Still here. Your actions are meaningless to me. I've already expressed this. I can rewind 6 seconds in time. I can do as many times as I wish. My employer will most likely tell me to dispose of you as well, but doing so is worth nothing to me. I will let you leave his orchard. I'll let you leave his orchard. Go alone. That's in my mouth just then. That's weird. What the hell that was? Return to your rays. Do as you wish. You know, might just be me, but I'm getting the feeling you're looking down on me. You said you fiddled with that wristwatch to turn back time, but you know I threw that steel ball to check your body. I tell you to be fair. My steel ball scan found an old wound in your left collarbone. In my next attack, I'm going to aim for your collarbone, and that impact to that old wound will most definitely paralyze your whole left side. And don't think you're going to be able to turn the knob on your wristwatch with a paralyzed left hand. Not just your left arm, but your left leg, even your left eyelid will drop. You will not be able to even speak. Even if you wanted to, there won't be a redo no more. 6 seconds back in time. And the paralysis will also stop your heart, which is also on the left side of your body. Oh, okay. Alright. Oh boy. Step. And from this distance, neither of us are going to miss the shot. So now what? We can't back down. It doesn't matter what we want anymore. Oh no! Not my boy. Not my boy. This guy, my heart, my left arm. Ah, my left arm. Ah. And dry Zeppeli. Damn. 6 seconds are going to pass. Ah. Oh. I mean, that is one way of doing things when you think about it. Use a gunshot. Can't argue with that, actually. That's pretty amazing. I thought so. So you turn back time. 6 seconds. So what now? One more time? One more time? Interesting, JoJo's Zeppeli. Your eyes have taken on a bitter glow, but you are still merely a conformist. That's not for you to decide. Neither of us can back down now. Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. Throw. Literally, it will be. I don't even know how the hell they're going to do this and how they're going to pull this off, but my god, if they do it, it's the greatest fight ever. Jesus H. Christ, this is actually impeccable. Oh my god. Oh. This manga. This manga. Oh. This is a second shot. This decides it. Oh. Huh? A shot of wood? This. With your left arm, Ringo wrote again. You, with that left arm, guarded your collarbone. You've wanted to finish me off with that second shot. And because of that defensive stance, your attack didn't hit my vitals and instead hit my shoulder. The end would be when you fired your next shot. A shot of wood. The piece of wood that was falling from the ceiling, you remembered where they were from the 6 seconds and you used your steel ball to launch one at me. Admirable, Jarizepli. I was one move behind, one shot. If you hadn't been guarding yourself with one arm, you would have definitely hit my vitals, someone as capable as you. But that would have brought the match to a duel again, another 6-second rewind. It would have gone on, the duel would never have ended. Though, it seems as if those 6 seconds are already up. Stop it. Don't try anything funny. There's no more second shot for you. Put that gun back on the floor, and satisfied there is no reason for me to finish you off. That's why you're a conformist. Find the path of light, the shining path, that one must tread. These are society's values, and also the true man's values. They used to be synonyms in the past, but currently, the two are not necessarily one of the same. The man and the society are completely different ideals now. The true road to victory requires embracing the man's true values, the true man's values. And you should be able to see it now. Continue the race and find out for yourself the path of light. That's what I will pray for. And I thank you. Oh man. Welcome to the true man's world. That was freaking amazing. I don't think any fight I will witness will be better than that. That was absolutely impeccable. Looks like you still have a pulse, Johnny. You and me both. Oh my god. That was... Oh. That was... That's actually pretty freaking cool. I imagine this probably would be something here to value anyway, because he actually kind of learned a lot of things from here. A lot about himself and stuff like that, because don't forget, before this point, it's kind of when... Because before this point, you kind of got the whole entire idea his character's beginning to change because of the whole thing with Johnny. When Johnny basically said, "Look, you got to figure this out right now. You can't continue down this route, or you will lose." I think after that whole entire point, it had like this kind of narrative shift that it went towards how to actually fix Gyro's character as well. Because I think Gyro's been up to this point entirely perfect. There hasn't really been anything wrong with him per se. But he has his mentality that he wants to actually kind of accomplish. Like, and he's also kind of up to this whole entire point being the kind of center point. But then it's slowly starting to shift, and now it's kind of going towards more Johnny. But now it's actually allowing Gyro to actually develop as well at the same time. And I think, I would imagine, if it ever wasn't referenced again, it'd be a disappointment, because this fight is actually impeccably amazing just because of the fact of how much Gyro will grow because of it. So yeah, I actually kind of like a fight for the reason, from a narrative standpoint and a character standpoint, did quite a lot. I think Ringo's character was like very, very vital towards what's going on here now. Like, in essence, he kind of is a very vital character towards the actual whole entirety of the narrative. Like, he was needed, I think. The more I think about it, he was actually kind of a needed character, because I don't know whether or not it actually worked with anyone else, but currently with him, it actually worked so amazing because of how he lived as well, how Ringo lived as well. So yeah, all in all, pretty freaking impeccable, I must say. Like, goddamn. Damn, this manga's really freaking good. I don't know how they've done this, but by God, Araki's just like ascended at this point. He's pulling the shaft way of thinking and just like ascending. Yeah, that's what I kind of got from it as well. The fact is, this, as you say, the Ringo arc is actually forcing him to grow. Like, you can actually kind of see it. Like, it's kind of just evident in the whole entire thing with what happened with his father as well. That whole entirety of that apparition, it kind of proves to you there and then it was kind of about him growing as a character. It wasn't just about, say, a stand fight, which then kind of allows the kind of stand fights not to just be a roadblock anymore, kind of just be a lot more. Because I think part 3 kind of didn't really use them as more of a roadblock. Part 4 kind of allowed them to be something more. Part 5 did exactly the same thing. Part 6 really kind of elevated that idea. I think Part 7 is really kind of honing in on this idea that the actual stand fights will be a lot more than just say an average fight itself. It will be just a lot more than that, which I actually kind of like, because it gives them purpose. It kind of allows you to see a different ideology as well, in essence, because you really couldn't call Ringo Road again an actual enemy per se, because he wasn't really a bad guy per se. He just had a different way of thinking compared to everyone else. He basically wanted something. That was about it. It was interesting for that reason, because you really can't define a bad guy yet, because they've all kind of just been different. If you get what I mean. In the previous season, in the previous seasons, in the previous like kind of arcs, you always had this evidence. Oh, that's a bad guy. That's a person you should not be trusting. But here it's kind of different, because you don't really get that idea per se. It's kind of just, it's on the minimum really, the whole idea of the bad guy, because there's not really been any enemies per se that have been kind of bad. Like, in essence, you wouldn't want to take them down, because once you know about Ringo's character, you're like, okay, I don't really want to see him kind of die at all, because he's actually kind of cool in a way. He's come from a very, 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 very difficult upbringing. Actually, kind of now he wants to find that true thing. It's kind of great for that reason, because it destroys the whole entirety of the mentality of the monster of the week, really, when you think about it. It kind of makes them more than just that. They're more than just a monster of the week kind of formula, which I actually kind of like. Because otherwise it'd be kind of like, okay, well, it's a stand user again, stand user again, stand user again. It's just like, there's nothing more to it. But here it's kind of like, no, it's not that at all, which I actually kind of like. It's a good job there, because I actually did want to see, I wanted an evolution in the stand users themselves, because I want to see them more than just your average bad guy. Because in Part 6 they actually did it quite well. Part 6 really kind of elevated that beyond that point as well. But I think Part 7 is really kind of just honing in on it. So yeah. I think it's actually the final volume of the chapter. Final chapter of the volume. Yeah, that's it. I actually kind of like it for that. I actually kind of liked his character for that reason. Like, he isn't a bad guy. He's got a code. He's got a moral code. Which is actually what I like. It's actually like what I kind of like in a character is when they have a moral code they live by, more than just your average. Oh, well, look, I came from a terrible upbringing, all that kind of stuff. No, Ringo's kind of got a mentality about it as well. He's kind of grown because of what happened in the past, and he actually has a true purpose. So it kind of makes it a bit more better than your average kind of character you see every day. So yeah, good job. I actually kind of like it. I think it's actually kind of impeccably done. I think it's one of those ones that if I'm like 40 years old and this actual part of stuff's been animated, I'll probably like, if I've got enough money at this point, I'll probably go to David P. Be like, David P, for love of Christ, just do it. I'll give him my cash and just make the effing anime and make it good. Because man, I have to see this animated now. I want to see it's actually on the big screen. It has to be done. God damn it, be impeccable. So, Ringo Road again, stand name, Mandem. Can we rewind 6 seconds in time? Ringo Road again, wristwatch is just a physical manifestation through a psychological switch. Right, so Still Ball Run, The Green Tombstone Part 1. Also, shout out to Hot Gyro right now as well. My god. My god, that's what I want to say. That's what I need to say. That's what I need to say right now. Right, so, 20th day of the 4th stage. A full day until Kansas City, the goal. 2 hours until sunset. Data. Stage running distance, about 1,250 kilometers. Total number of races, 1,918. Races withdrawn from the race, 825. Currently ranked first. Diego Brando, 190 points. Does Hot Pants actually become a part of the crew? Because Hot Pants is actually pretty freaking cool as well. I want to see him a part of the crew. Like, just Hot Pants in general is a pretty freaking awesome character. Hey, your head's feeling alright. Listen, I think I just came up with something. An original gag. But listen up, I'm only going to do it once, so pay attention. Only once, alright? Look at my fingers. How many am I holding up? 4. Excuse me, let me pass. 0. Yeah, I can see that Ringo's basically just like kind of set the actual theme of set the actual main theme of JoJo Part 7. I can see that, but yeah, I've been told that the main antagonist is practically one of the best things ever made and actually ever conceived in media. I was like, man, I can't effing wait. I was like, boy, I need to see that right now. Yeah, that's why I kind of like the idea that they're actually deconstructing the whole entirety of the meaning behind a duel and everything like that. Like, it's not just kind of one is good, one is evil. It's like it's kind of just destroying that kind of code that you always see in every other single thing. That's why I kind of don't like Inuyashiki that much, because I kind of like it. I like it a lot at the moment because it's doing quite a lot more than I actually imagined, but I don't know. Just kind of the central thing of how to handling certain characters, it just really mesh well with me. I don't know. I kind of like it. That's why I kind of say I've seen it better done before. That's why I kind of like, you know what, just do it. It's just kind of better here. I think it's because you can see it done better in different ways. It's just like they kind of just go by the Oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I'm not disregard, Inuyashiki that much. Inuyashiki does a freaking great job of actually world building itself and actually how much of a great character Inuyashiki really is. But I don't know. It's just certain things with that anime. It just kind of doesn't really bode well with me. I don't know. It's a bit weird. I like it, but I'm kind of like it could do a lot more of what it's trying to do. It's kind of just being a very surface level about it. I don't know. Just here, it's really kind of it's just done really freaking damn well. So you just kind of like I can't help but pick holes with it. I don't know. So, and that was the gag. What do you think? It was pretty good. It's pretty hilarious, actually, right? It gets funny with time. Don't take my idea just because you like it. Mr. Horsey, let me pass. Johnny, alright, let's get going. I sprayed Hot Pants' wounds too before you could wake up. He was a terrifying enemy. I wonder if all the others were going to encounter... I wonder if all the others were going to encounter are going to be like him. Probably chilling, huh? But it's not like we can't quit the race now. But it's not like we can quit the race now. But you weren't going to quit anyway, right? If we did throw the race, you'd still be chased by the government for the rest of your life. Like I said, I don't have any intention of dropping the race. Actually, I feel emboldened. Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel the same. Let's go to Kansas City in the lead. Also, the identity of this corpse, who is insane. We need to get some information from the Vatican. Whoa. This guy, he has a lot of stuff. Let's take all of his roast beef sandwiches. If we eat all of them, that would mean that he'll have no more evidence left to sentence us to hanging. Or maybe we can just eat the meat and leave the bread to piss him off, huh? Is he really alive? It's like... Oh. Ah! Oh. Ah. What the? Hot pants? No way. Hurry, Johnny. In points, that cream guy is still in front of us. That's a surprise. I guess it doesn't matter. No, hot pants, no matter who he might be, has nothing to do with us. Huh, that's actually quite interesting. It's quite a neato twist. It's quite the neato twist. Ah, jeez. Being seen isn't an issue, but being followed by those balloons is a problem. Let's move through the trees. Also, when you talk, cover your mouth with your hand. Like this with your hand. But why? It's lip reading. Don't let them read our conversations from the sky. It's what they teach us in the army. It's not anything special really, but those that are up there are sure to have been trained in it. Still, it is definitely working with the government. Hey look, Poco Loco is here. Sandman's coming too. Looks like we're somewhere towards the lead. Hey Sandman, we'd ask you something. Who's in the lead right now? Have you seen Dio? Hey, looking good as usual. Come on, tell us. Hey, looking good as usual. Come on, tell us. I want to know what's going on right now. Is Dio your only rival? Well, no matter. I saw Dio's tracks this morning. He's about an hour ahead of us, as you predicted. He's in the lead, and he took the route with the fewer rivers. An hour? We still have a day left. We can catch up to him. And one other thing, a storm is going to hit tomorrow. The last stretch of the race is going to be difficult. In the first stage, I was awarded the victory instead of you. That's why I'm telling you this. Now we don't owe each other anything. It's a clear sky, but we can trust what Sandman says. Oh, it's a clear sky, but we can trust what Sandman says. So, Dio is an hour ahead of us. And it's going to be a storm and not just rain. Then that means that travelling by horse is going to be nearly impossible in tomorrow's weather. Looks like a change of plans, Johnny. It's almost dark, but let's move our horses as far as we can. There's going to be a storm tomorrow. That'll be better for our horses. Then we'll wait for the storm to quiet down at a good spot and head straight for the goal. This place for the turbo. We can go here after we finish the race, and then we'll secretly retrieve the corpse part. You okay with that? No, that's not it. Joe, we can't do that. Sandman said that Dio took the route with the least amount of rivers. The northern route. The northern route doesn't have any tributaries of the Mississippi River. That means Dio is heading to the northern part of Kansas. He's heading towards it. Dio knows where the turbo is due to his left eye. He plans to get the corpse part before he finishes this race. Also, damn it, I just remembered. Inside Ringo's cabin, there was I actually can't speak now. Damn it! Inside Ringo's cabin, there was this bird cage. I thought there was something weird. There's an empty bird cage in that cabin. Yeah, I know. So what? What are you trying to say? It would have been fine if there was a bird in there, but I didn't realize it. It was empty. There weren't any birds in there. So that means that the government is onto us. Ringo already sent the information about Turbo with a carrier pigeon even before we came. I wouldn't put it past him. How fast do pigeons fly? I have no idea where he sent it, but it's much faster than a horse. Much faster. Gyro, I'm going to run through the storm. It might already be too late, but we have to get there before we get to the goal. I have 2 or 3 questions to ask about the hot air balloons. Can it fly upward? No. It can only adjust directions depending on the wind. How long can it stay in the air? As long as the balloon has gas in it, it can stay in the air as long as needed. But realistically speaking, it uses a lot more gas going up and down, so it usually comes back to land by dusk. How many are currently being flown in the race area? About 36. That is during good weather. Then this is my final question. Despite having so many of them on the lookout, why am I getting reports that Johnny Joestar and Jerry Zeppeli are missing? And why does this always happen? And why have they not found the pigeon that Ringo sent from his orchard? Oh! Right on cue. Right on cue. Ringo's pigeon aside, it's impossible to track 2 people from the air at all times. That might be. These are just petty details, but I can be sensitive to the details. It's a personal hypothesis, but I believe it is because Still is not willing to cooperate. Perhaps he's trying to interfere. Those hot air balloons are his property after all. You think that the promoter is double-crossing us? Impossible. Even if that was true, Still would have nothing to gain. He has no motive. That's right. Normally, promoters seek wealth and fame, but there's something different about him. He has a passion, something akin to a child's dream, petty idealism, especially after Monument Valley. That might not be his intention now, but I have a feeling that he will betray us. I wonder which. I feel like he is not necessary to this race, but at the same time he might still be useful to me. Stephen Still has charisma. The media, middle-class volunteer workers, he has many followers. If he disappears, the race will be plunged into confusion. Yes, I see. Let's hold that thought for now. But once he stops being of any use, we must ask him to take his leave. We must find the next corpse part. This is located somewhere in Kansas. Next corpse part is the spine. According to Joseph Aramthia's map, his backbone is here somewhere, the central part of the human body, the most important part. As long as we have it, the other parts will come on their own. We must retrieve it. We must. Call the stand users to this town. Madam, Miss Still. Madam, are you listening to me, Miss Still? Ah! In 2 to 3 days, the participants of this race are going to flood into the city. I have mountains of work, and yet you still request for a tutor, and I agreed to it. I'm busy too, and what is this now? You haven't paid attention to what I've been saying at all. Just looking out the window. The fact I've been learning lip reading from you. Have you told anyone about it? You haven't told anyone, right? No one knows, right? Yes, of course. That was what we promised. Alright, well, I'm quitting studying. None of this makes any sense. I don't get it at all. I'm falling asleep already. I have no knack for it. He's probably going to yell at me for being too unfocused. Here's your money. Now go home, please. Lucy, as long as you're here beside me, I'm content with leading an ordinary life. I don't need anything else. But I guess it makes me a little happy to see my names in the papers, if those papers are going to be in the trash by the next morning. It can just be in the bottom corner, in tiny letters, produced by Stephen Still. That's fine with me. Just for that, I'll put my whole heart and soul into this race. What the hell's going on? Oh, my watch is going off every 5 seconds. My watch is literally going off every 5 seconds. Right. He's going to be killed. My husband was just being used. When they don't need him anymore, they're going to dispose of him. Johnny Joestar, Jared Zeppeli, left arm and its corpse, part spine, Stan User, stillborn run race, Joseph Amethy's map. Oh. And why have you not found the pigeon that Ringo sent from the orchard? Of course, I'm well aware. I know this building is government property. What I need you to do is to give my husband his lunch. He forgot to take it this morning. Dino Brando. It's pretty much that. I call him Dio the Dino. That's what I call him at this point. Dio the Dino. You know who my husband is, right? Stephen Steele. If I give it to him right away, it would be pointless to give it to him after lunchtime. It should be coming soon. What kind of information do you think it is? There's evidence that Ringo sent his pigeon here. What? There's something wrong. The door is open. When I checked the pigeon house this morning, I closed it. Did anyone else come up here? Tug. So, is a pigeon here? I'm sorry. It seems as if it hasn't arrived yet. I don't see a pigeon carrying a message. What do you think they say that there are pigeons that can fly 2,000 kilometers in one day? Even if it can't fly that fast, our pigeon should have arrived this morning, and the information was important enough that Ringo would send it before he died. And something of that much urgency, what do you think it could be? I'm sorry, I myself have no idea. It can't be. It can't be its location. The location of the quartz part seems to be indicated with these numbers. Turbo. North 39 degrees, 6 degrees, 24 degrees. Where? W, 94 degrees, 40 degrees, and 6 degrees. Mr. President, wait a moment. There's something wrong with the pigeon house. There's something amiss. I'm so sorry. I said that the pigeon hadn't arrived yet. But let me correct myself. There's one that has arrived. There's one more than there was this morning. It looks like Ringo sent 2 pigeons. One with a message attached to its foot, and another he didn't have time to. 2 pigeons. What do you mean? Why would one arrive and the other not arrive? This is getting odder and odder. This log. There are signs that someone broke in and tried to fix it again. So, what are you trying to say? So what are you trying to say, Blackwall? Is it that someone came to the rooftop and pried this door open? That door over there was also open? But I can't imagine who, for what reason. Who would do something like this here in Kansas City? I'm sorry, Mr. President. It seems as if both pigeons have arrived. There are footprints in the front of the cage, 2 footprints wet from the rain. If this pigeon's wings are still damp, the pigeon arrived just a few moments ago. Oh. Uh-oh. Are you sure about this? But I still don't understand. Are you saying that someone was just here? That they stole the pigeon with the message? Who would do such a thing? Ah, clack, 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 step, slide. Oh. Oh, it's the pigeon with the message. What are you doing? Catch it immediately, Blackmore. Yes, I'm sorry. I'll go after it right away, Mr. President. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's actually pretty good. If only he would say, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Like, that'd be the greatest thing ever. Oh, man. I'd be so happy, but too bad it didn't come out the same year as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That'd be the greatest, like, kind of twist ever. Where he just goes, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Huh? Drip. 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 Pop. 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 Huh? Huh? Damn, that's kind of creepy. That's kind of creepy. That's quite a scary version of Mary Poppins. It's empty. Mr. President, there's no message inside the capsule. I'm sorry, it's empty. Huh? It's the cap. The cap to the capsule and the pigeon's leg. Someone was just here. They just took the message. Just now. Who could it have been? This person already knew about the Ringo's pigeon and the existence of the message. Oh, she got away. She got away. This floor, check this. This floor, check this. No one's come downstairs yet. There's an emergency. Someone has invaded the building. Close this building down. Close it down completely. Also, if you find an intruder, I give you permission to shoot. I repeat, I give you permission to shoot the intruder. Raise security levels to maximum. Don't let anyone leave this building. Touche, he did. He actually did make Pinocchio scary. Actually made a lot of fairy tales scary, actually, if I remember correctly. Drip. Drip. The halls are unusual. The halls are unusually loud today. What's going on? What's all this noise? The contents of Ringo's Road Against message. It was unmistakably the location of the next corpse part. But what's going on? There's an invisible enemy besides Jared Zeppelin and Johnny Joestar inside this building. Oh, bugger! That's the ending. That is the goddamn ending. Of course it had to be. I was like, it's the ending, isn't it? This is the ending of the volume. Boy, it's the end of the volume. Oh, man. Oh, boy. This volume was... It was the pinnacle JoJo Part 7. Granted, it's still been pretty freaking impeccable so far. I mean, there's been quite a lot going on with this part so far that I actually quite enjoy. It's quite subtle on how it does a lot of things as well. Like this idea of how it's slowly deconstructing Joe's character to actually allow him to kind of grow. Like it's actually kind of... Ah, man! You got here as I finished! No! No! Yeah, but as I say beforehand, that's not good. That's not good, bro. You got here right at the end. And that always happens to people, apparently. They always get my end. They always get to catch the end of my stream. Like, damn it, like, damn it, all the time. But I think YouTube is a bit broken sometimes. Yeah, but the problem is with Gyro's character, the fact that, as I said beforehand, he's been pretty much perfect this whole entire point. He has literally zero flaws. If you kind of take him for face value, he's another character that has zero flaws so far. I mean, he's kind of got that temper and all those kind of things that might make a flaw, but to a point, he's been kind of alright this whole entire point. He has no flaws, he's been kind of perfect, he's been able to kind of not distinguish, but kind of just like get rid of all the kind of sanity stuff this whole entire point. But now, ever since Johnny kind of said, look fam, you've got to sort this out, you can't be like this all the time. there's been this evident kind of deconstruction of Jiraiya's character. In essence, there's been a lot of flaws that have been kind of unearthed. They didn't really know about him right now, which actually kind of makes it a lot better. There's not flaws to the point that he's actually kind of gone back in time to actually kind of being this terrible character. No, it's kind of like flaws that kind of make a character who's perfect up to this whole entire point seem a little bit more real. It kind of allows us to kind of realize there's a character arc to his character. It's not just the fact that he's perfect. I would say Johnny's the flawed one here, but I would say Jiraiya has those flaws, has some semblance of flaws as well. Like it's not just kind of Johnny is the flawed one here. I think Jiraiya is also flawed, but it's actually kind of nice to explore this whole entire arc because in essence, this arc was the kind of, as we established beforehand, the idea to allow Jiraiya to grow. It's forcibly allowing him to grow because he has to. At this point, he's basically kind of become a character who was not like him beforehand. He's kind of receded back in time while Johnny's kind of gone forward in time, if you get what I mean. It's what I kind of like. It's the fact that Johnny's gone forward while Jiraiya's kind of gone backwards ever so slightly. Like now he's kind of become someone a bit different. Someone who's kind of, as I said beforehand, a bit more real. Like it's kind of a bit more neater. Like it's just like kind of it's that kind of thing I want to see because if Jiraiya was Pope's whole entire point, I wouldn't have a problem. That's the kind of the thing. But there's no room for him to grow. The only one to be growing is Johnny, which wouldn't be so bad. But still, the fact that now we're kind of allowing Jiraiya to grow as well is ever more better because it's just allowing him to become someone better than he was beforehand, allowing him to actually realize who he is, what he's trying to do, and all those kind of things. It's actually kind of really freaking neat for that reason. So I do, in theory, thank Araki for the Ringo Road Again arc because it really just kind of allowed Jiraiya to realize a certain amount of things that actually allow him to grow as well. In essence, Ringo, as I said beforehand, as we established, isn't a bad person. He isn't. Like he's a man who's got a different ideology compared to everyone else, which is actually kind of a running theme. That no one per se really is a bad person. They're just kind of different. Which is kind of better because if you've got a load of enemies, you kind of just feel like feeling like you've seen it all before. It's like there's no room for kind of any growth in the stand users. But if the stand users aren't bad people, but just have a different ideology, it allows you to see how different people work and all those kind of things. It allows that kind of dynamic to kind of be a little bit more better, if you get what I mean. It kind of allows us to kind of feel for the stand users more than just our protagonist as well, because an evidency that kind of ran through a lot of the parts of the fact that you don't really kind of feel too much for a certain amount of the stand users. For a lot of them you do, but you don't really feel a lot for a lot of them. They kind of just say a roadblock for the character. Yeah, it's just kind of it's allowing for a character to kind of realize their flaws, which actually I kind of like because Ringo is pretty much the perfect character for Jiraiya to kind of go up against because when you think about it, Ringo is that kind of character who's got a mentality that he's kind of in a way cool, but the fact that it allowed Jiraiya to actually realize his own flaws is actually even better. That's why I kind of like the fact that it was Ringo that actually kind of allowed him to realize these things, actually allowed him to kind of just realize, oh Christ, I've got a long way to go. And it kind of makes the whole thing with Johnny beforehand ever more better when you think about it. Like that's kind of the major thing. Like, yeah, actually the Boom Boom ones were kind of the jerks ones, but yeah, it's just kind of got a bit better as time went on. Yeah, that's the thing. It's as I think it's Ben Boba that says that quote, actually. I used it once in my work, but I think it's from an Eye Patch Wolf video, actually. Like, it's like no one's actually technically bad in real life. It's just they've got a different way of kind of coping with what they've got. It's that kind of thing. Which is what every single character pretty much besides the Boom Boom crew kind of already has in his part. They don't kind of have an antagonistic trait about them. They've just got a different way of coping with it, which is actually kind of neater. It makes everyone feel real. It makes it feel like you're watching kind of like a realistic approach to something who's otherwise been kind of unrealistic up to this whole entire point. It makes it makes it just feel like you're watching a Wild West storyline, if you get what I mean, more than just say a JoJo part. It's actually kind of for that reason, it's actually a lot better to actually kind of watch this whole entire thing unravel. That's why I kind of like it. But yeah, one of the things to note, I actually didn't say beforehand, was Johnny's character as well. Johnny's character, he's changing. Like, his character's changing. He's not a small boy anymore. He ain't a cinnamon roll anymore. He's a guy with a killer intent. Like, it's kind of neat for that reason, because you get to see a different part of him we never we will not ever once imagine there to be, because of the whole entire point, he's been kind of very cut and dry. He's been kind of good. There's nothing wrong with him. He's got places to grow, and all those kind of things, but he hasn't really kind of had a killer intent inside his eyes. But that part with Ringo, you just saw a different part of him. We saw someone who had a killer intent in his eyes. It's actually kind of creepy in a way, because it's what I kind of like. You don't expect it from people, and when it actually happens, you're like, God damn. So there's actually a little bit more going on with Johnny than we actually imagine right now, which then actually allows us to actually see a character growth in him as well, even more than what we're getting so far. We actually it kind of allows us to see it's actually a very, very evident character arc for both of them, because it's not just the fact that actually Gyro's his perfect character. No, he's got flaws, so there's actually a character arc in him there. Johnny's exactly the same. Johnny's the one that's had the character arc evident since the beginning, because of the whole entire thing of his past. So the character arc's always been there, just Gyro didn't have it so far, but Gyro has it now. Which is what I like. It makes the whole entire thing a lot better, because if we had characters who were utterly perfect up to the whole entire point, then there wouldn't be any room for them to grow, and it wouldn't actually kind of have anything, like, you wouldn't find any kind of enjoyment out of it, because you're kind of just like, okay, so what's the point of following these characters when they're too perfect and actually going to, like, kind of destroy everything else around them? But alas, it actually hasn't been a problem since part 3, so that's actually kind of good, because ever since part 3, they actually kind of improved the protagonist a lot. I think JoJo's been the kind of character which, I think JoJo was the character that needed the most development. I think part 4 gave it to him, and then also part 6 as well. But really, yeah, this whole entire part is actually impeccable, I must say. It's absolutely masterfully done. I actually can't understand where this has actually come from, but freaking hell, it's actually perfect. It really is. It's masterfully written. It's one of those ones that kind of really catches you off guard how good it is, because of how great part 6 was. Like, part 6 is actually still the greatest thing I've ever read, but part 7 really just kind of ups the ante of every single regard, just completely. He's just impeccable. You're like, whoa, where's this coming from? Yeah, that's the thing. It was Gyro was the role model for Johnny, but then Johnny basically said, "No, look, you're not perfect. You're far from it, dude. Like, you've got a lot going on that you don't realize these things. So you got to fix this right now, as you will lose." It's actually kind of neat, because it kind of destroys the idea of the role model character you always see in these kind of things. It allows the character to actually kind of go, "No, look, you're not the center show here, boy. It's actually kind of a lot more going on here than you actually don't imagine. So fix yourself, boy." It's actually kind of neat, because then, in theory, though it's established beforehand, Ringo will probably become Gyro's like kind of role model in a way, but also Gyro kind of saw a little bit of a role model in Johnny as well, because he actually kind of made him realize a certain amount of things. Actually kind of neat for that reason. So yeah, good job. I actually freaking love this part so much. It's one of the ones you don't really want to rush too much, because how good it is. Because it's just, we don't really want to rush any JoJo part, but you know what I mean. It's just because of how amazing every single thing, every single facet of this whole entire manga really is. You just kind of actually want to just take everything so slowly, so you actually can just take everything in. I think it's one of those parts that really does that, and kind of excels that idea. Though part 6 also did that as well. But man, I don't know where this manga, say the word, came from, but freaking hell, I'm so happy. I'm literally so unbelievably happy about this manga being in existence. I think it really kind of really does, I think it really does in theory deserve the spot on number 2 on Mao. Like, it really does. Yeah, that's right. I can kind of see that. There's no role model between Gyro and Johnny. Like, it's kind of gone, as you say. There's nothing there. It's characters growing with each other more than anything else. Is what I actually kind of like, because if it continued, there wouldn't be a problem so much. But I'd imagine it'd probably be a lot better to actually see no role models there and actually allow them both to grow, because it makes it a bit more organic, if you get what I mean. Because if there's no role models, there's no kind of like, oh my god, you're so perfect, and all those kind of things. It allows the kind of character to feel a bit more organic, and actually allow it to feel a little bit more real. I like Paul and F in part 3 as well, to be honest. He was good. I liked him. He was one of the first Joe Bros for me, I think. Because, I don't know, Kakoyin's actually pretty freaking good as well. Like, I liked him. I thought he was actually pretty freaking neat, but I think Pinnacle Joe Bro, I don't know. there's actually been a lot of, I think it's probably Butcherlati actually. Butcherlati is perfect Jobber, I think. It's probably him, Gyro, and who else could there be? Because I'm trying to pinpoint between Anasui and Weather Report, who's a better Jobro, because they're both impeccable characters. But I'm like, who's actually better? And I also got Hermes as well, but she's actually impeccably as well. But I wouldn't class her as a Jobro so much because she's just an impeccable character on her own. But Hermes is also up there as well. But I don't know, because all of them have got something about them. Anasui is like my first husband of like JoJo since like goddamn. Like since part 4 with Rohan, like Anasui is impeccably perfect. I love him. Like, I don't know, Anasui. It's between Anasui and Weather Report. I just think Weather Report's an amazing character on his own, but also Anasui is as well. Like, yeah, Dino Brando is husbando material as well. Like, everyone's a husbando at this point in JoJo. Like, it's just like nothing about them that does make him a husbando at this point. They're just all pretty much freaking perfect. I don't know. Just you also got Thingy as well, like Rohan from part 4. Like he's husbando material. Yeah, I don't know because there's a lot of things that Weather Report does more than Anasui, but Anasui has just got that edge. I just kind of like him a lot more. I just don't know what it is. It's just something about him. I just think of how much he actually kind of cares for Jolene. He just kind of makes me go, he's beautiful. He's a beautiful man. Like it made me happy to see him on the in the alternate reality as well, alternate timeline. It made me happy to see him there. I was like, there he is with that cool ass hat, and that cool ass jacket as well. I was like, boy. Oh, Dino Brando. Like Dino Brando is so much better. Like, cause Dio is fine. Well, don't get me wrong, Dio is fine. He's not a bad character per se, but he's just kind of average too much. Like, he's just kind of a very one-dimensional character. He's one of the kind of typical shonen villains you see. That makes him kind of that good. That's why Kira was so great afterwards. But I don't know. I think Dio, original timeline Dio, is actually kind of good in his own regard. But I think Dino Brando is actually a lot better because of how much he actually has a kind of a character. He has a character behind him and a reason to why he's fighting, all those kind of things. Beforehand, it was kind of like, oh, he's just there. He's a roadblock, that kind of thing. I don't know. I kind of crap on part 3 way too much. Part 3 is still freaking great. It just kind of has a lot of pacing issues, I think. No, Poochie's amazing as well. Like Poochie's like Poochie's freaking amazing. I didn't get to Poochie, okay? Like, if we're going by villains, it's Kira, Poochie, Cars, Dio. Like that's my list at the moment, because I haven't really found a villain in this part yet to actually kind of say, okay, he's better, because it's always gonna go Kira, Poochie, Cars, Dio. It's always gonna be like that. There's never gonna be anything else. Like, because oh yeah, it's also I completely forgot. It's also Diablo as well, but Diablo's at the bottom because Diablo's just kind of there. He's just like, hi. I'm like, oh yeah, Diablo's there as well, because Doppio was way better. That's what I think. I think Poochie and Kira are just like the most impeccable villains I've seen in a long time. Like, they're just so goddamn good. Because they all had a purpose. They all had a reason. That's why they kind of just felt like, okay, I can see these people being here. Same thing with Cars to an extent as well. Their Cars is Cars at this point. I like them a lot. This Dio kind of just felt like a roadblock more than anything. That's why I kind of didn't like him too much. I was like, eh. I mean, I can do with you not being here. Like, I can do with someone else kind of taking your reins more than you, because there's more out there. But still, I kind of liked him. I thought he's kind of good for the time, if you get what I mean. He's good for the time. But yeah, I mean, what time is it? Damn, it's 4:15. Damn, I'm actually doing pretty freaking good time today. So yeah, that actually has been me for today. So I do apologize for actually not being here for the last 2 weeks, I think now, because I actually had a lot of work going on. I actually have like kind of deadlines coming up now. Like it's that crunch time of uni that you have to do everything else by like December, which you probably like screwed. So if I have to take a break from like JoJo for like 1 week, it's just because I'm doing a lot of work. Just don't worry about it. I'll come back somehow. I'll be back on another day somehow, doing something else. Do not worry about it. I'm always here somewhere. In the fabrication of the universe, as they say. So yeah. That has been me for today. So, if you have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, and you do want to leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed, it does help me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed this, if you do like what I do here, and you want to stay a little bit longer, then do leave a sub, because indeed, it does help me quite a bit. But until next time, I have indeed been a driver. I shall see you guys later. Bye for now.